Every single memory you have is a lie. Not a small distortion, not a minor exaggeration, a full, constructed fabrication that your brain assembled piece by piece and then handed back to you as truth. The childhood birthday you remember so clearly, your brain filled in half of those details. The argument you replayed 1,000 times, convinced you were right? Your brain rewrote the ending. The face of someone who hurt you burned into your mind forever. Science says you probably got it wrong. And here is the terrifying part. You will never know which memories are real and which ones your brain invented. Because to you, they all feel exactly the same. Welcome to the most unsettling truth in all of neuroscience. Your brain is not a camera. It is not recording your life in high definition, storing it safely, and playing it back on demand. Your brain is a storyteller, a deeply unreliable, emotionally biased, constantly editing storyteller, and you are the audience, who never gets to see the original footage. So today, we are going to pull back the curtain. We are going to explore exactly how your brain builds false memories, why it does it, and how it has already been done to you without your knowledge. And most importantly, how understanding this can fundamentally change the way you think, decide, and live. Because once you understand how your memory actually works, you will never trust your own mind the same way again. And that is not a bad thing. That is the beginning of something far more powerful. Let's start at the very beginning. What actually happens when you form a memory? Most people imagine memory like a filing cabinet. You experience something, it gets stored in a folder, and when you need it, you open the drawer and pull it out exactly as it was. Clean, accurate, permanent. But that is not even close to what happens inside your brain. When you experience something, your brain encodes it, but not as a single, unified file. It scatters the components across different regions. The emotion gets stored in your amygdala. The sensory details, what you saw, heard, smelled, get distributed across your sensory cortices. The context, the timeline, the meaning, those go to the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex. Now here is where it gets dangerous. Every single time you recall a memory, your brain has to reassemble all those scattered pieces. And during that reassembly process, your brain fills in gaps. It borrows details from other experiences. It adjusts the narrative to match your current beliefs. It edits for emotional consistency. Every time you remember something, you are not retrieving it, you are rebuilding it. And every rebuild changes the original just slightly, which means every time you revisit a memory, you are making it less accurate. The more you remember something, the more distorted it becomes. This process is called reconsolidation, and it is happening inside your brain right now, every single day, without your permission and without your awareness. But reconsolidation is just the foundation. The rabbit hole goes much, much deeper. In the 1990s, a leading researcher conducted a series of studies that transformed how we understand human memory. She wanted to know a simple but deeply disturbing question. Can you plant a completely false memory inside someone's mind, a memory of something that never happened to set, and make them believe it is real? The answer was yes. Devastatingly, consistently, terrifyingly yes. In one of her most famous studies, Loftus told participants that, as children, they had once been lost in a shopping mall before being rescued by a kind stranger. This never happened, it was entirely fabricated. And yet, after just a few guided conversations, approximately 25% of participants not only accepted the false memory, and they began adding their own details to it. They remembered what the stranger looked like. They remembered how scared they felt. They remembered details that could not possibly exist because the event itself never occurred. Their brains had taken a suggestion, constructed an entire sensory and emotional experience around it, and filed it away as personal history. Think about what that means for your own life. Think about the stories you have been told about your childhood. The things your parents reminded you of, your siblings teased you about, your teachers referenced in passing. How many of those planted seeds and grew into memories you now believe are completely your own? And it does not stop with childhood. False memories are being created inside your mind right now, in real time, through the media you consume, the conversations you have, and the emotions you feel in any given moment. Here is something that will genuinely disturb you. Stress and trauma, the very experiences we most need to remember accurately, are the exact conditions under which our brains are most likely to create false memories. When your body enters a stress response, your brain floods with cortisol. And cortisol does something remarkable and dangerous to your hippocampus, the region most responsible for forming and organizing memories. High cortisol levels actually impair the hippocampus's ability to encode details accurately, which means the moments that feel most burned into your brain, the moments of fear, grief, anger, shock, are often the moments your brain recorded most poorly. And then, because those moments carry so much emotional weight, you revisit them constantly. You replay them, you talk about them, and every single replay, as we now know, changes them a little more. This is why eyewitness testimony is one of the most notoriously unreliable forms of evidence in criminal justice. Studies show that eyewitness misidentification is the single largest contributing factor in wrongful convictions. People who lived through a traumatic crime talk show, who were standing right there, who swear on their lives they remember exactly what they saw, are often completely wrong. Not because they are lying, because their brain is. So if our memories are this fragile, this malleable, this easily corrupted, what does that mean for the way we make decisions every single day? Here is the answer that most people are not ready for. It means that nearly every major decision you make is being influenced by a version of your past that never entirely existed. The reason you do not trust certain types of people, the reason you gravitate towards certain environments, the reason you feel inexplicable fear in certain situations, or inexplicable comfort in others. These are not rational calculations. These are emotional responses driven by memory, and those memories have been edited, distorted, and reconstructed so many times that they may bear only a faint resemblance to what actually occurred. Your brain built a story about who you are and what the world is like, and it used false memories as some of the bricks. But here is where the science becomes not just unsettling, but genuinely empowering. If your brain can construct false negative memories that hold you back, limit your potential, and trap you in old emotional patterns, then it can also be guided toward constructing new narratives, positive ones, accurate ones that serve you instead of sabotage you. This is not wishful thinking. This is neuroscience. Researchers at MIT discovered that in mice, they could artificially activate the neurons associated with a positive memory while the mouse was experiencing something fearful, and over time, the fear response was replaced by a positive emotional association. They literally rewrote an emotional memory at the neurological level. We are not yet at the point of doing that in humans with technology, but we are already doing it with psychology. Cognitive behavioral therapy works, in large part, because it teaches you to challenge and reconstruct the stories your brain tells about past events. EMDR therapy, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, has been clinically proven to help trauma survivors reprocess and reconsolidate traumatic memories so they lose their emotional grip. And on a daily, practical level, the act of intentionally revisiting positive memories care, of consciously reinforcing them, adding sensory detail, sitting inside them emotionally, actually strengthens those neural pathways and makes them more influential in shaping your present behavior. You are not stuck with the memories your brain handed you. You never were. So let's bring this all the way home. Your brain has been lying to you your entire life. Every memory you hold has been filtered, edited, reconstructed, and influenced by your emotions, your beliefs, the people around you, and the stories you have been told. The past you think you remember is partly a story your brain wrote to make sense of your experience, and that is terrifying. But it is also liberating, because if the past is not as fixed as you thought, if your memories are not an immovable record of who you were and what happened to you, then you have far more power over your own story than you ever realized. The neuroscience is clear. Memory is not a museum, it is a workshop. And you are not just a visitor inside it, you are the architect. So the next time a memory rises up and tells you who you are, what you deserve, what you are capable of, pause. Ask yourself, is this the truth? Or is this just the story my brain decided to tell? Because the most powerful thing you will ever do is refuse to let a reconstructed past determine your future. There's so much more hidden from us. Subscribe now to explore the unknown.